Hello all. Today in this session 4 we will be discussing about some of the topics in basics of packaging and its principles from unit 1. Now here we will study about color and flavor contamination. How this color and flavor is related to each and every products around us. Every product has its own natural color or artificial color, natural flavor and artificial flavoring agents. It is important to maintain the color and flavor of every product. Suppose certain naturally available materials such as food materials has its own color and texture on them, and as the old age of the product or the aging of the product, there are possibilities to change the color and flavor of the food. For example, vegetables and fruits. Each and every vegetable and fruits has its own variety of color and flavor, and it is very important to retain the color and flavor of their naturally available from nature. And as the aging continues for the foods, there are certain life changes of the fruits and vegetables can make them dull, and the flavor do not exist anymore. Hence, here retaining the color and flavor of the foods that are naturally available, to maintain or retain them as it is for a longer period of time. Hence, it is important criteria for it to match the best packaging material to retain the color and flavor from the product getting it contaminated. Also, the package that are designed or suitable should be able to retain the color and flavor of the particular product. And also there are possibilities of the flavor and color losing through the package as well. So it is important to design the suitable packaging material for different varieties of products. For example, different products such as fruits, vegetables, grains, ready to eat foods, pharmaceuticals, all of these different food products or the products are packed in different kinds of materials. Why? One best example we can take is pharmaceuticals. This pharmaceuticals has enormous ranges of medicines, syrups, tablets, etc. If we keenly observe how the packages are designed for syrups, tablets, and many more. Now, for example, if we consider the syrups. The syrup bottles are mostly packed in dark color or dark tinted bottles. Even the tablets are packed in silver foiled packs, darkly tinted blister packs. Hence, for it to avoid interaction between external climatic conditions, as the pharmaceuticals or the medicines, maybe it is in liquid form or it is in solid form or it is in semi-solid form, these medicines are always reactive to the external climatic conditions such as oxygen, other gases like nitrogen gases, and various other components that are available in nature. And also it becomes an important form of preserving the product from contamination. Thus, it is important to select a suitable packaging material, color, so that it will not deteriorate from external climatic conditions, thus by retaining the color and flavor contamination. Here we are going to discuss some of the packaging materials, base packaging materials, how it will protect, how it will react with the product, how all it will retain the color and flavor from it, getting it from contamination. Here, one by one, the taste of plastic. The foods or the material, the product that are packed inside a plastic container or the jar should not penetrate into the container. The food that is present inside the plastic container should not penetrate into the components of the plastic in a micro level. This will not be visible to our eyes. If you had come across foods, hot foods that are packed in a plastic container and it is been sealed, after some time when you tend to open the lid of the container, visibly the interaction within the product and the package may not be visible, but when you taste the food that is being packed in a plastic container, could be absorbed some of the molecules of plastic, hence therefore contaminating the material package, contaminating the food product. Also, it should not interact within each other. Either the food product should not interact with the plastic, or the plastic container should not interact with the food material that is present, that is contained inside the container. Next is the taste of metal. The crystals or the metallic particles in a very minute content, there may be possibility of getting interacted with the food product. For example, the best example, iron. The food products that are packed in iron containers tend to absorb or very well interact with the product, thus by contaminating the food product. As we all know, metals do react with most of the environmentally naturally available substance. Hence, also the metallic aroma can also be detected when you taste the food that are preserved in metal containers. Next is the taste of cardboard. Cardboards are made of wood pulp or paper pulp. When we consider paper pulp or cardboard, when it is only above 200 GSM, below that all are considered as paper. Above 200 GSM, everything is considered as cardboards. These cardboards has become a very much in trend nowadays in order to preserve, pack, transport and store the various products such as foods, non-foods and much more products that are we using in our day-to-day lifestyle. So this paper or the cardboard material is basically made of paper. It has more or having higher tendency to absorb moisture content from atmospheric conditions or near any, if the product is placed near any water bodies. Next, if you store food items next to soap and washing powder, etc., certain foods tend to absorb the different kind of product placed very next to the products. For example, if you place the soaps and washing powders and any other detergent powders near the food products, that is edible products, there are chances of interaction within the two products. Thus, to avoid such highly contaminable products should be protected with a better packaging material for it to retain the color and flavor of the product. Next is taste of glass. Here, glass is considered to be an inert material. It is considered as a very brilliant variety or a type of packaging concepts. It has evolved enormously from our olden days till date, and the glass has become the brilliant variety of packaging in order to protect the product or the food from color and flavor contamination. We have come across various types of containers and jars made of glass, which having a very good tamper evident and pilfer proof in order to protect the product and increase the life of the product. Also, it has become a very important packaging material for storing the food for longer period of time, transportation, containing. Also, the important properties of this packaging material glass is it can be made transparent, it can be made colored, it is also non-reactive with the products that are present inside the glass containers. And we have observed that the difference between the food products that are packed or stored in the plastic containers, metal containers, cardboards and glass, when we compare with the all above materials, we come across lot of contamination happening to the food product. Whereas when the foods that are packed in the glass containers will have a fantastic extended life for products, food products. Thus, it becomes a best ever packaging material when compared to other packaging materials. The only drawback with the glass packaging material is it is heavy and breakable. So, we have learnt about how the color and flavor is very important for every food products for it to retain in order to maintain the life of the product and increase the life of the product. Next is the shelf life. Shelf life. What is shelf? What is life? Shelf is the place where we place the products or goods in the market shelf, godowns, at the end user or the consumer homes also. Life. Life is the time period from the birth till the expiry date of the product. Here in this image, there is a span or the life period of the package with the product, indicating the time period or the life of the product. So now here the life of the product is measured from the factory till the expiry date. That is, the arrow that is mentioned in green, that is colored green, is the shelf life. So that the shelf life is nothing but the span of the life that the product is fit for usage. Once the product crosses the time period of the shelf life, it is considered as a expiry date. Once the product crosses the expiry date, it is not advisable for usage anymore. And here at the bottom, it is indicating in two different colored arrows. Half of it covers blue and half of it colors with red. It is not always mandatory that the production date and the consumer buying date will be of same day. Hence, for example, a consumer buys somewhere in the middle of the shelf life of the product, he will be allowed to use the product only till the expiry date. That is the span of blue line. And next, as soon as the expiry date, that is the red line continued with an arrow, is indicating that the product should be stopped using. Henceforth, the blue line is the time period that a buyer or the consumer tend to use the product or allowed to use the product. We usually see the best before advisory note mentioned in each and every product, saying best before 1 day, best before 1 week, best before 10 days, best before 6 months, best before 1 year, best before 2 years. Like that, for different products or different consumables, it is mandatory to mention the advisory note for every packaging, on the every packaging, to be on a safer side. Now, next is the definition. Here it says is the shelf life is the length of the time that a commodity may be stored without being unfit for use, consumption or sale. For example, cosmetics, foods, beverages, medical devices, medicines, explosives and all other various products that are available in the market, perishable and non-perishable. In some regions, it is important to mention the mandatory advice or the freshness that is required on the package. And these are all some of the examples that are very, very important in order to fulfill the Food and Drug Administration Board to mention the life of the product. That is important, that the date of manufacturing and date of expiry to be mentioned on every package is mandatory. And it is also very important to mention only for perishable goods or perishable products. Perishable products are the products that tend to deteriorate or spoil at faster phase. Next is the other important advisory instructions that are very much important to be mentioned on the package is handle with care. Handle with care, that is the product inside, present inside the box or the package is fragile, is breakable. So it is important and mandatory to mention the arrow marks on the package. And upside down, this side up, do not stack, do not crush. So it is important to safeguard the outer box, the box, to do not stop as it contains a breakable product. Maybe it may be of glassware, cutlery ware, tableware, dining tableware, any breakable goods. So such breakable goods should be added this mandatory advisory on the package. Also, this arrow mark indicates to be opened in upside, and the umbrella indicates it can be protective by water source, and the cup or the wine glass symbol shows it contains a breakable product inside, so we have to handle it carefully. And the next image is the carrying instructions of the box, so that the person who handles the box will be knowing which direction or which side to carry and where to hold the box. These are all the important advisory instructions that are very much mandatory according to Food and Drug Administration Board. Next is the interaction of package. Earlier we studied about the color and flavor contamination. Here, while we decide a packaging material, it is important to note the compatibility of the product and the package to maintain the shelf life of the product from the time it has been manufactured, while in transit, distribution, storage, and till the end use or the consumer. Most packaging materials do interact with the product, but at a very smaller percentage. The migration and permeability and absorption are the entities that determine the extent of interaction, which may be mostly affected by temperature, storage, time period, and other environmental factors. Now, the major challenge facing in food industry and packaging manufacturers is to ensure the wholesomeness, that is the freshness, color and flavor and the naturality of the product, and also the safety of the product, so that the package related factors that are mechanical damages or chemical damages or biological damages to the product, so that the package related factors can be avoided, can be controlled to ensure the safety of the product until it reaches the end user. Here are some of the packaging materials such as LDPE, BOPP, HDPE, PET, PVDC, nylon, PS, Avon, AN. These are all the various packaging materials, polymeric packaging materials, which gives us enormous barrier properties in terms of food packaging. Here in the picture, the region mentioned in blue at a darker color has more barrier properties when the product comes across the oxygen transmission and also water transmission. The darkest region containing PVDC. This PVDC is elaborated as polyvinyl dichloride. This polyvinyl dichloride has a very good barrier properties in order to prevent the oxygen transmission and water transmission by protecting the product. Next, in the next level, the BOPP, HDPE, PET and EVON are the materials are lightly colored in blue. Thus, it indicates a little less of barrier properties can be got from these materials. BOPP is biaxially oriented polypropylene, HDPE is high density polypropylene, PET is polyethylene terephthalate and EVOH is ethyl vinyl oxyhydrochloride. So these are all the little less or the next level of packaging materials that has with little low oxygen transmission rate and water transmission rate. And in the next level, LDPE, nylon, AN and PS, these are all the very low barrier properties consisting that may be not that good enough to package all food materials, so that these materials do transmit oxygen and water vapors within each other by contaminating. The best ever barrier material that can be used in order to control the oxygen transmission rate and water transmission rate is PVDC, polyvinyl dichloride. End of session 4. Thank you.